Anthony Joshua knocks out Charles Martin in the second round to capture the IBF heavyweight title. Let's talk about this fight archives, of course. Going into this fight, Martin got paid about $5 million as soon as he won the belt from Glasgow via technicality. Martin, someone who hasn't really been proven at that level. Again, this was the fight after Joshua got rocked by Dillian Whyte, so questions were on Joshua. His first heavyweight title fight. I mean, out of all the guys that had the titles, Eddie Hearn was probably thinking this is the most lucrative one to fight, just because Charles Martin is someone who won the belt via technicality, unproven, and it's a belt at the end of the day. You know, if Joshua loses, it was too early. He fought for the title too early. If he wins, it's a star setting bright, isn't it? And he got Charles Martin to come to the UK, so there's a good chance Joshua doesn't knock him out. He'd probably won it on points, whether it was legitimate or not. You know what I'm saying? So to get Martin to come to the UK, he must have paid Martin a fortune. It was approximately $5 million, so it was quite a lot. Martin did a lot of Martin, obviously a brash American, and Americans tend to do a lot of talking. You know, one of the funniest quotes I ever remember is, "I walk this earth like a god," and all this rubbish that Martin was talking. Joshua seemed calm, composed. He learned his lesson from the Dillian Whyte fight, and you could see that in the first round. From the first round, Joshua seemed, you know, he didn't come out in his usual self and just come and try and burn someone out. He was throwing good, tight right hands. You know, Charles Martin looked a little bit nervous. You know, he wasn't really committing. But again, it was a very calculated first round from Joshua. You know, he was pouring from the jab with his left hand. He was wary because obviously Charles Martin being a southpaw, this I think was Joshua's first southpaw. So he was making sure his stance was correct. You know, he was just kind of like teeing off with a jab, not too heavy jab, just very wary, right hand stuck to his jaw, and just really pouncing and just making sure that to get the range and get the timings right. Charles Martin, on the other hand, seemed a little confused. You know, he wasn't really throwing a committing jab. He was just kind of following what Joshua was doing at the same time, trying to be defensively sound. Nobody was really committing that heavy in the first few rounds. Obviously, both guys are just, you know, Joshua throwing a few right hands, hitting the glove. Charles Martin playing his position, tucking up well. But yeah, Joshua was very relaxed. What I got from the first few rounds, Charles Martin was ready to just go wherever Joshua goes, really. And that was kind of the pattern for the first, few minutes of the round. You know, I got Joshua landed a very strong, hard right hand at the end of round one. Martin took it quite well, was a bit unsteady legs. You know, you could see his legs were a bit wobbly, but he maintained composure. Joshua was composed. You know, the old Joshua before the Dillian Whyte fight would have gone in straight in, you know, to kick for the kill. But you could see this was a more polished and more calm Joshua, really taking his time. No wide hooks, no crazy power shots, just keeping composed and making sure he's using the counter of the right hand, because being a southpaw, the right hand is the best punch to land on Charles Martin without getting countered. And it was a very, you know, relaxed first round. I had Joshua winning it because he landed a straight right hand that seemed to wobble Martin near the end of round one. But let's go into round two where the fun begins. Same kind of thing, they both come out. You know, I noticed, why is Charles Martin's thing so tight? Anyways. Yeah, so both of them pouring with a jab. Joshua trying to find distance. Martin again kind of playing. Martin not landing anything clean on Joshua. Joshua going to the body well. Martin just kind of he's kind of following Joshua's pattern. When Joshua throws a right hand and misses, Charles will then come in with a left hand, but just miss out of range. Joshua showed good feet because he kept moving out of range. Every time Charles Martin wanted to establish a jab or establish a right and left hand, Joshua did well to move out of range, and then boom! While Charles Martin was trying to throw a counter, Joshua hit him with a straight right. Martin flew onto the canvas. The punch didn't even look that heavy, but Charles was badly hurt. He got up, took his time, he was composed. Joshua, with the same punch, lands exactly the same punch he did, and kind of smiles, looks at his corner as in, hey, this easy. world title fight. Let's get it going. And Charles Martin was on the ground. He was looking at the ref. I don't know what he was doing. He got up on one knee and got up at the 10 count. So, you can take whatever you want with that. His actual, I think he was bleeding as well under his eye as well. So Joshua stops Charles Martin in the second round through with 2 straight right hands, very crisp. It was pretty quick and demolishing fight. I mean, not many people, people don't seem to take Charles Martin serious due to this fight, because he came in with a lot of talk about I'm this, I'm that, I grew up on the hood, I walked this earth like a god, and you got smashed to bits in 2 rounds. You being the champion, and particularly after the second knockdown, I don't know, he seemed to, I wouldn't say he quit, but he seemed to not have many desire to get up. Who gets up at the 10th count? I know he was hurt, but it just seemed like Martin kind of came for a payday and kind of rolled over his head. Being the champion, being knocked down in the second round, particularly seeing the punch didn't look that devastating. He could have got up, isn't it? And not many people seem to take Charles Martin serious. We've heard comments of him being the worst champion ever, which I think is a bit harsh, but he wasn't the best champion that Joshua beat. But Joshua knocked him out. He's smart, this is an undefeated American champion to win the IBF belt, and smashed him to bits in 2 rounds. So let me know what you guys think about this fight. It's an old fight, one of AJ's most clinical and quick performances. His first heavyweight title, IBF newly crowned champion. Easy work.